All right, Cancer, this message is for you guys. It's going to be a bonus. And I think this message has something to do with overextension. That's how I'm hearing it. Overextension. Be mindful or careful not to overextend yourself. I don't know if that actually means like if you don't do too much physically, because you could wear yourself out. If you feel tired, take a break. Give someone else the help or the work or the workload so that you can take a breather, take a break. You know what I mean? Like sometimes overextension can mean physically, actually, when you feel that you need to sleep. When you feel like you need to rest. Because I literally see somebody here like stretching, like doing yoga, like stretching or working out, but then they pull something because maybe they aren't conditioned or their body's exhausted and tired or something like that, But this could also be overextending yourself in the financial realm. Like maybe someone here is asking too much of you, constantly asking to borrow this, constantly asking for this amount of money or this and that and this, or all of it's on you in some way to cough it up or fork over the money. It could be money, so not overextending yourself in the financial department or realm. This can also be overextending yourself as far as helping another in any way, whether it's financially, physically, just in general, like constantly needing your time, needing your attention, needing this when you also need things that have to be done. And not even things that just have to be done, but maybe meditation and time for yourself and downtime, time to read a book, time to listen to your favorite podcast. I mean, whatever it is, just overextension. Now, some of you may actually have gotten to a place where you've already realized this, that you were showing up for a person more than they were showing up for you. And it's not that you were doing it to expect someone to show up equally for you, in which case it's something to do with children here, because we should show up for our children. But maybe perhaps you feel like, I'm going to use an example. Let's say you're a grown adult and you have grown adult siblings, and one of your parents or family member needs your help due to an injury or illness or whatever. You are the one constantly showing up. You are the one constantly doing this, overextending yourself, although you don't see it like that. But your other siblings could help. You're pulling all the weight. Maybe you've already gotten to a place, or you soon will, where you just kind of speak your truth. You stand your ground and say, hey, it's an honor for me to be able to help. I love this. But at the same time, I'm only one person and I can only do so much, Like we need some help, or we need to hire more people, or we need to, receiving help, getting help, knowing when to say that you need the help or something like that. Overextension. There's this dog in the background. Can you hear it? I'm unsure if that's translating on the video, but something to do with that off in the distance. Complaints, even. Something to do with complaints here. I don't know if the complaints are coming from others around you or something like this. Like, no matter what, you're going to have people that are going to, you can't please everybody. So whoever this is for, it doesn't have to be for Cancer or cross watcher. It could be for someone else. But what I'm getting here is, at least in this part, you can't please everybody. You're always going to have people that are going to complain. They're going to gripe, have something to talk about, something that they don't like. And maybe this is a part of overextension. Perhaps somebody is wanting more from you, or wanting to offer their love and support, or wanting to show up for you. And maybe, just maybe, this is something you have to do on your own. Maybe this is something that you have to conquer on your own. It can't be something that someone else helps you with necessarily. It's something that it's like your own path. And so maybe someone here is like, hey, we should be together, or we should do this, or I just want to do this. And perhaps they're coming from a genuine place, but it could come off as maybe possessive or pressure, like they're applying pressure or trying to force you to do something that you don't want to do. That's also, that's happened to me, and I've done it before in my past as well, to others, where, maybe someone here is not ready, I'm going to use an example, for a relationship. not ready to get married, not ready for children, not ready for something. And another person, although they might be genuine, they're very much ready, but it's like, well, that's you. But then they get angry at you because you're not ready, or because you're not off putting the load on them, or, you know, doing this like whole partnership thing. But perhaps partnership is not what you seek here. Perhaps you are a one-woman army or a one-man army. Perhaps this is something that you have to do on your own. This is some sort of feat that you must conquer on your own, whereas it doesn't really involve them, and they may be upset that it doesn't involve them. So it could be that you've felt that you've had to balance this time to just not upset someone, but eventually you're going to upset them anyway. Maybe you're not messaging them enough. Maybe you're not responding enough. Maybe you're not giving them what's this called? Like essays or paragraph texts back or messages back, or you're not giving them an hour of your time, or, you know, when they're really saying, hey, but I want this, and it's like, okay, I understand what you want. But also you have to understand that I have free will, and I have my own things in life that I have to do, and this is just something that I have to do. And if somebody can't understand that, then maybe there needs to be a break here. So some of you may get to a place where you realize that you may have to separate from a person, whoever they are, energetically. Just, you know, give yourself some space in between the two of you, because you're not going to be able to please them. And it's because they're trying to please you and help you and do things as a team, or do things as, you know, get you on their page and get you to see something. And it's like, it's not about me seeing something. It's not about me seeing something. In this area, in this case, in this scene, this scenario, it's not about me seeing something. This is something I have to do. I just have to do it. And it's like they don't understand. I do think you have someone around you who doesn't understand your process. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not necessarily that they're wrong, but it could be a little frustrating for all involved. You know, they're frustrated, you end up getting frustrated, and perhaps the best thing to do, I'm telling you, is to probably take a break from one another. Okay, this is definitely not for everybody, and I'm well aware that this message is completely different than the one we just got about like sex, the whole message. This one is a totally different group of cancers or cross-watchers I'm picking up on, where it's just like, this is just something I have to do on my own. Like, you can't ride the bike for me, or even with me. It's going to throw me off. I need to learn to ride this bike on my own. This is something that I have to do, you know? That's so interesting. I feel like there's so much to that, you know? Yeah, it's something here about trying to get someone to see something that they're just never going to see. And maybe that's somebody who's been trying to get you to see something that they're like, well, they're just never going to see. They're just never going to let me in or accept. And it's like, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. You know? Like, maybe, just maybe, something here is not meant to be. Even if it's a friendship, even if it's family members being close, perhaps we are meant to be estranged at this point. I'm estranged from a lot of my family members, so, I mean, sometimes that's just, wow, that plane came out of nowhere. Sounds like a jet. You seem busy. Somebody here seems very busy. You know, that came out of nowhere, just like, it's like rushing, like fast, you know? So the whole message is based on making sure that one does not overextend themselves. Whether you are a Cancer yourself or a cross-watcher towards a Cancer or something, it's just like, I'm only one person. I'm also on my own journey. And I don't want to be forced or pressured. And I also, some things I can't accept the help. This is like what I need to do. I mean, imagine if you were trying to, like, I don't know, break a Guinness Book of World Records for something. You know, isn't there a lady who grows her nails really, really long, right? It's like her natural nails. I don't know, don't hold me on that, but I'm seeing it. I'm pretty sure there is somebody with the longest fingernails, natural fingernails in history. In fact, we could look it up. I mean, can you imagine getting someone to help you with that? How are they going to help you? This is a you thing. This is something that you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, Guinness Book of World Records longest natural fingernails. As of March 2022, Diana Armstrong holds the Guinness World Record for the longest natural fingernails on a pair of female hands. She has not cut her nails since 1997 and has said she has no plans to do so again. She said that she's proud of her nails and believes her daughter, who passed away unexpectedly, would be proud too. Wow. You guys gotta look this up. Look up Diana Armstrong. Holy shit, that looks like Arby's curly fries. But hey, listen, that's her thing. That would be an extension, right? I wonder, it's interesting when I picked up on nails out of nowhere, because nail extensions, nails, that's a long extension, overextension. But also that's something that she had to do on her own. Like, you know, she had to do that. Nobody else could do that for her. So in all ways, don't overextend yourself. Other people may not realize that you are on your own journey and that not everything is a partnership here. You know, there's a lot of things that we actually do have to do on our own, and that we should, to learn the lessons from them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah. So also, don't be afraid to tell anyone that you can't do something, or that you don't have the money for it, or you don't have the time, because you don't want to overextend yourself, because there's a lesson that they're needing to learn by doing it for themselves, figuring it out for themselves. You know, when we learn to walk, or we teach our children to walk, we don't walk for them, they walk for themselves. I don't know, why do I get, this is the whole message, guys. Like, it's about learning, like, knowing when to say it's okay to say no, and also knowing when it's okay to tell somebody, look, I do have a lot over here, but I don't need the help. Like, it's okay to turn down help. It's also okay to accept help, but it's also okay to say, this is too much on me. It's too much on me. And I'm putting so much of myself in this area of my life that it's taking away from my family time, or away from me time, from leisure, which we all need for balance. I mean, you know, maybe this whole message is not so much just about overextension, but in the power of no. The power of saying, no, I can't. Like, perhaps somebody here is going through a divorce, or they're going through a difficult time, right? It's just another thing popping in my head. And maybe someone's magically, madly, irrevocably in love with you. Maybe they really are, though. But they would also understand that you are on your own journey, and you have your own process, and you need your time. This is not going to happen overnight. There's a lot you're going through. And so maybe someone's like, well, you don't love me. And if you don't understand my value, which I've had this happen to me, you don't understand my value, or you don't see how many people want me, or how many people blah, 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 then you don't deserve me, or I can go find someone else. They're kind of like an ultimatum here. And it's like, if that's what you feel you need to do, because I'm on my own journey, and I'm not going to be forced, rushed, pressured, ultimatumed. That's not going to happen. Maybe it's not anybody going through a divorce. Maybe someone's just on their solo journey here and needs their own time, and is not to be rushed by anyone, and perhaps feels that they are rushed. Someone's wanting to rush into a relationship, rush into a marriage. They feel like, you're not serious about me if you don't do this. And it's like, it's already been 5 years. And it's like, if you need something specific, like marriage and romance, you're not wrong for that. Go have that elsewhere. Then I am not the one, because I am on my own journey, and there are no guarantees with me. So you will absolutely be let down if you expect one thing out of me. So if you need something specific, but you are dead set that I am the one that shares in this with you, you're probably mistaken. I am not the one. And I don't need to be bashed for it, or ridiculed for it, or kind of pressured to feel some type of shame in myself for not being on your timeline. Maybe you operate slower than someone else. Maybe you prefer to take your time before you respond. Maybe you don't like the least bit of pressure, and you could feel that you're getting pressure from a person who probably does not intend to come off that way, but maybe it translates that way because it's like, listen, don't pressure me. Now, of course, this isn't everybody's story, but I'm definitely getting it like that. Like, maybe somebody's pressuring you for an answer. They want an answer. They want an answer. They want to know. Or somebody's doing that here, and you may be like, I don't have that answer. And if you need that answer, and I don't have it, I'm not just going to cough something up to make you happy. I'm not going to do that. And you can be mad at me, and you can bash me. Because some people, when they don't get what they want from you, they can then turn angry and upset and just think that you're some type of way. And it's so, but not necessarily. But then they could go against you, you know? Either way, don't stress here. Don't overextend yourself. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel obligated. Don't feel like you're going to upset your whole entire family if you're not obedient, or if you have to say no. Don't feel that you're going to upset your friends or your lover or your partner or your potential partner or this and that. Like, you are in your own journey here on this planet, in this realm. You're on your own journey. You're having your own experience. And nobody really genuinely knows what you're going through and what you need for you. They can only speculate and think that they know what they need, what you need, what is best for you, what is best for all involved, what is best for the family. But eventually, you know, over time you start to see that really you are the one that knows what's best for you. Family may have an idea, partners may have an idea, you know, others may have an idea, but genuinely, nobody really knows why you came here. And we don't know why we came here. And the only way we're going to figure that out is not by everyone else's opinion and everyone else pressuring us and causing us to overextend ourselves. It's by taking the time that we need and figuring it out as we go. I really hope this made sense. It feels a bit confusing, but I mean, I don't know, I got it, but that doesn't mean that I translated this message well. So I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to post this. This is definitely for an entirely different group of cancers. I don't know, like, I could think of so many examples, you know, like somebody here who, it's like two different types of people here, like one person who believes this way and one person who sees this way. Like, maybe there is someone who's very, like, you will not change their mind. They believe in this type of faith, this type of family dynamic, this type of, you know, and whereas you have this person who's like, maybe even they did believe in that at one time, but they're starting to change. They're seeing something differently now, or maybe they just always have. And, you know, this person may be like, but you're wrong, but this is how things go, and you're going against the family, and you're a shame, or you're going against God, or you're going against, and it's like, but am I though? Who actually are you to tell me what I am going against? Am I? Or am I just going against what you want, what you believe, your truths are? I feel like I could take this message so far. We could probably stay on this message for a good hour, honestly. I'm getting a lot of examples now. I'm getting work scenarios. I'm getting definitely strong family scenarios. I'm getting love strongly. The strongest I'm getting here is in love, family type love, and romantic type love. That's what I'm getting. It's almost as if you are really set apart from those around you. or you've at least become that way. Maybe you haven't always been, but you're starting to see as time goes on, as you grow and age in this life, the more experiences that you have and the more circumstances and situations that you encounter and that you observe, that things aren't always the way that they've seemed. Things aren't always as they appear. And maybe you've been wrong. And maybe you've been wrong because you were going with what you thought and not with what you've seen, not with what you've observed. You may have been going with what was set before you, with others. But, you know, as you age and you experience things, you start to adapt and kind of evolve to see things differently. And that can upset other people. It can really upset other people. You know, in fact, there is a man who, well, his label is, he's a shaman. That's his label. And I find him incredibly interesting. In fact, he's a Cancer, and he was my teacher for Reiki, amongst other things. And when I first met him and went to one of his classes, I was sitting in there with several other students, and this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was a little bit shocked to hear that he was actually a priest before, which is interesting because when I realized who my biological grandfather was, he also was a Catholic priest before. My biological grandfather, I call him Papa Labe. He was also a Catholic priest before, okay? And so this teacher of mine, this shaman, he was also a priest before. He was what do you call, like a theologian. He went to school for this and was dead set, right? And as time went on, and the more he studied and the more he saw, he began to shift his perspectives and things, and is now a shaman. And so it's just interesting how at least these two males, right off the top of my head, as examples, how people can change, and how, you know, when you have your own experiences and you start to go off your own understanding instead of what's been fashioned before you, you may end up on a very different path than you first began. And this can cause you to lose a lot of people. It can cause you to upset a lot of people. And even on the new paths that you get on, people think they know you, and you no sooner get settled in this way and you start to see something else. And I mean, I think that's beautiful, but a lot of people can't flow like that, and it can very much upset people when you flow, because they want you to be right there. They want you the way that they believe it should be, and it's like, but that is your truth and that's not mine. And then they will say, well, that was your truth, and it's like, but it was. Just like I used to be a size 2. But it's not anymore, and I am not anymore. I'm different. So a lot of times people will not grow with you. That doesn't mean they're wrong. Maybe they got comfortable and that's where they're meant to stay. I don't know. But then they want you to stay there too, and then they get upset when you don't. And you then can't be on your new path and on your new way of seeing things and be overextending yourself over here to still try to make these individuals comfortable with your transition. You see what I'm saying? I hope that made sense. All right, now I'm going to go. I think we got what we needed there. Thank you guys for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.